So, welcome back. I think what I'm going to do is just make a little video about the drone flying that I did at the top of Teapot Hill. That's in obviously the Teapot Hill video. If you want to see the whole adventure, it's in the last video that I did to this one. So, but first things first, if you like these videos, I'm just going to get you to subscribe, because then you get notifications and helps me on whether people actually like these videos, and I always look forward to your comments as well and sharing what you think. So what I want to talk about today is every time that I fly my drone, I feel that as a pilot you learn something different, learn something more, your skills get a little bit more honed, that kind of thing. And I've been flying drones for probably around 14-15 months now, and so I kind of think that I'm drifting out of that beginner stage into a more intermediate stage, but the learning curve is still quite steep. Now, what I found with the Teapot drone flying is it threw up a very curious thing where I expected when I got to the top of the hill that there would be a wide open space, a bit like this garden, where you could take the drone straight up and get a stunning view. Certainly in like previous drone videos, that's kind of what you get. But the thing is with Teapot Hill is a tree line goes up and over the top of the mountain, so when you get to the top you're still in the trees, and there was no wide open spaces. But looking around, I couldn't take it straight up because of the canopy of the trees, but in between two of the trees forward to the lake there was a gap. And I kind of stood there and looked at this gap and wondered whether I could get my drone through it. Now the bonus was, that was the mission of the day, is to go up and fly the drone from the top of the mountain and get some footage over the lake. The downside was that as soon as the drone goes forward, there's a drop off into the trees, and if the drone hits a branch or an overhang or something, I basically lost my drone. So you get that kind of, I don't know, should or shouldn't I kind of thing. But I chose the former, I did it, and I flew the drone through this very small aperture through the trees and then out across the lake, and then brought it back and landed it at my feet. So I just want to show you, share with you a few of the learning points that I got that day. The first thing is flying it out from your position outwards is a lot easier than flying it back. Flying it back, you can actually see how tight, you can see on the video, you can see how tight that hole actually was, and it takes a lot more lining up. I guess it's in the way that when you're flying an aeroplane, it's very easy to take an aeroplane off. Requires a little bit more skill to find your way back to the runway and place it back down, in this case at your feet. So that was the first thing. The other thing is I think again with the more experience you have with drone flying, is to start really trusting your equipment. What I found with this little drone, this is a DJI Mavic Air, it doesn't matter what drone that you're flying, this, as soon as you take the hands off the controls, will stop. And it will just stop and hover exactly where it is. It also has the sensor mechanisms around the drone. So if there's something like a branch, something substantive, it will not go near it. It will kind of back off. But leaves and overhangs, I don't trust it so much. So I do have that layer of protection around the drone. The other thing, like I said, is when you take the hands off the controls, the drone will just stop and hover. So that then gives you time to reassess where the drone needs to be to navigate through obstacles more safely. So I guess with that, it's not flying towards something and then going into panic mode that you've got to somehow tilt the drone, and as soon as you start panicking, then you're going to be more likely to crash your drone. So it's literally, if you're coming into a place of danger, take your hands off the controls, the drone stops. The second thing is flying it through the trees and out across the lake, I think it'd have been very difficult if I'd have lost visual sight of the drone. Because again, once you're out there and you've got this complete mass of trees, it's going to be very, very difficult to actually find where you're standing because you're hidden. So what I try to do is take the drone off and keep it in my line of sight. And then again, your pilot skills is working out which way this the direction of the drone is facing. Different drones do it in different ways. You can use your camera screen when you're filming to do this. But all I did that day was basically turn it around 180 degrees, bring it up a little bit, bring it down a little bit, and then bring it into land. The other thing I found that when it went out, it encountered a bit of turbulence, probably over the lake where the shoreline was, and it kind of started swinging and drifting off, and got a little bit of a panic on when that happened. So that was kind of it. Decided to bring the drone back. But again, it's think about this situation, assess where the drone needs to be, then hands back onto the controls, move the drone into that part where it needs to be, turn it round and fly it. Yeah, whether it's towards you, away from it, whatever you're doing. So as I said, coming back through the trees was a little bit more difficult than flying it out of the trees, but we did it and got some good footage in the meantime. The other thing that day, it was on the border of raining, and you could actually see it. You could see that fine drizzle. The camera on this thing is absolutely phenomenal, and you could see that fine drizzle. I think if that drizzle got any more, then again it will be bringing the drone back. The weather of that day was right on the cusp of flying. So I'm going to play the video, hope you enjoy it. As I say, I've taken it out of the Teapot Hill video, and this is just for my vlogging and drone flying followers. And so just share with you a few bits and pieces that day. The last thing, just before I show the video, is it's a good idea to practice in a wide open space or your garden. I mean, look around this garden. There's a lot of gaps in between trees, and you can safely, because it's low to the ground, you can safely navigate this little drone through the trees. And it's all about gaining confidence in your equipment. Whatever drone you're flying, once you know it, you bond with it, and you kind of know exactly what it can do, what it can't do, but equally the drone pretty much knows what you're doing as a pilot. You bond together, yeah? So it's a good idea just to take it into a place where there are some enclosed spaces and get used to how the drone moves. Again, when the drone's away from you, its perspective changes. It's very easy when it's here. I know where it is in relationship to the ground. I know where it is in relationship to where it's pointing. But when it's up and when it's out, that perspective changes. And again, it's like having that third eye. It sits here and you're almost looking through what the drone's seeing. You connect with the drone and then you can somehow bring it back. As I say, it's all, you'll know what I'm talking about if you practice enough. And as I say, I'm not an expert, but I'm just starting to get it's almost like a muscle memory. You know what the drone's doing because it's an extension of you. It's like you're flying it. And when you get that connection, it makes your flying a lot more enjoyable, and you can take your filmography, it's a good word, isn't it, filmography, to a whole different height, which is the reason why I fly drones. Is I love the film part of it. Really enhances your videos, and they're great fun to fly. So whatever drone you're flying, hope you enjoy this video, and please put your comments at the bottom. was a big fat phew at the end of it when my drone landed on the floor. So, and it was safe, because you like this little guy to come home. So that's it from me for this one. Hope you enjoyed the video, and we'll see you next time. Bye bye for now.